Very often we hear one single objection whenever we reach out to a customer. Many of our sales team members reach out in many different ways, across the country. And the clients eventually end up saying, I already have it. They end up saying, I already have life insurance. I already have health insurance. What does this I already have it mean? The client simply believes that life insurance or health insurance or another insurance product is just another commodity. Now one has to really differentiate that there's a financial solution and there's a commodity. Now if you just look at a television, for example, you can end up saying, hey, why don't you buy a new television? You can say, I have a 50-inch television. Now your life insurance, your health insurance is not the same. So it is essential to understand what does a life insurance or health insurance do to you? What problem does it resolve for you? So if you just look at life insurance, it's a very, very vast subject. I'll let Vinay also add on to it. But if you just look at life insurance, there are multiple needs getting catered through this product category called life insurance. The very, very basic aspect, it caters to the aspect of financial security. What if you are not around? How does your current income get augmented for your family? That at the very core is term insurance. Now that is catered to by only one single product category in life insurance. So if somebody says, I already have it, do you have a term insurance? If you have it, is it optimal? Is it the right quantity? Now what does right quantity mean? Okay, if you are not around, to what extent does your life insurance policy augment the absence of the income for your family? For how long? Have you really been able to measure that? So that's one of the typical examples that I quote when it comes to insurance. Yeah, Vinay, so this is something that we hear all the time. So, as experts in this field, it really is a very interesting topic. So what do you think about it?
Very right, Venki. In fact, other day I was thinking we have been typically 30 years, 25 years roughly into the industry when privatization happened. And today also we are still in a dilemma when it comes to customer trying to make a decision that I already have, do I need to have, this is sufficient or do I need to add it to it? So people do not understand life insurance has various dimensions to it. Life insurance per se is not just one terminology. It has 10 terminologies under it. But unfortunately at times customers do not have time, patience, energy to listen and understand, or the other way around, they do not get a right advice. They do not get a right advisor rather. Forget advice here. They do not get a right advisor who will patiently sit with him, take him through the journey, make him understand, hey, sir, you need a term insurance, you need something for your child's education, you need something for your child's marriage separately, and then you need something to protect your assets, you need a health insurance, and then there are 10 other things. The list is numerous. But the people think life insurance is just life insurance. And somebody would have told them that they had bought LIC in the past, their father bought a 50,000 policy, that is good enough as a life insurance. It will give me some amount of income every 3 years, 5 years. Luckily, some people have tasted life insurance in the last 20-25 years through the private sector, and they really have started appreciating the benefits of the product. Obviously, we do not say that people want to take the real benefit, which is the death cover after the life insurance. That should hardly come to the family. But in case some mishap comes, people have really valued lakhs and crores of worth of checks have been delivered to families, which is taking care of their income, their kids' marriage, and a lot of other stuff. So per se, I think a lot of financial literacy has to be involved into this to let people be aware what is the real meaning of life insurance before they actually jump on to buying a life insurance. What do you say?
आपने यार 2-3 शानदार चीजें बताई. One is, let me just crystallize it. You said seller impatience. I'm also adding another aspect of buyer impatience.
Buyer impatience.
Seller impatience, buyer impatience. दोनों इतने impatient हो जाते हैं that solution selling suddenly becomes product selling. Okay, आए हो कुछ तो बेच के जाओ, आया हूँ कुछ तो बेच के जाऊँ. Okay, and that is something that becomes a major issue. If the seller and the buyer, and I'm calling it very, very in basic terms, seller and buyer, are willing to give time to each other, that's when the journey will evolve. Really analyzing the entire portfolio from beginning to end. We keep saying analyzing the portfolio, and portfolio management suddenly, when it comes to investments, mutual fund में ये आराम से लोग समझ जाते हैं. But जब insurance we say portfolio management, जैसे insurance में कहाँ portfolio होता है? ये तो product है.
Product लेना है.
Okay, so अगर portfolio, if you check your entire insurance portfolio, I think पे अगर seller और buyer दोनों एक दूसरे को time देना शुरू कर दे, I think the journey can be excellent. We started with term insurance, right from term insurance to your pension solution, which is शानदार है. आजकल के product the kind of returns because of the regulator who
60
has
साल
come in.
तक आपको इनकम आ सकती है,
Absolutely.
गारंटेड.
It was not there. The regulator has forced today the insurance ecosystem to give exceptional products to clients. फिर भी आज भी client सोच रहा है there's this element of mistrust because इतना clutter है market में. Client wants to eye it with a sense of suspicion. He wants to ask the questions to every expert, and there's nothing wrong in that. But agar you're able to demonstrate patience, if you're able to listen through, look at insurance as a portfolio, I think you have a lot to gain rather than looking at insurance as a product. Yeah, that's something that we keep discussing all the time.
So very rightly said on the trust point. I would just like to add, it's not that you can keep on hopping, hunting for a best partner. आप डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, you have a family physician concept.
Yeah.
Not today, 50 years back also we used to be told that आपका ये family physician है. हर छोटी मोटी बड़ी बीमारी के लिए आपको सबसे पहले you have to knock his door. Similarly in financial planning also, you need to be married to one financial doctor, and then that financial doctor can be in individual in his personal capacity, or it can be a corporate environment like ours, where the company makes sure that even if relationship changes between people, because employees may change obviously, we cannot make sure
Yeah, of course.
somebody joins at 20, he will continue with us till 60, but the corporatized version of relationship makes sure that advice आपको same मिलेगी. आप आज दिल्ली में हैं, कल tomorrow you move to Chennai, you get a similar advice under the banner of Bajaj Capital. So that's the advantage of a corporate advice. So relationship has to be nurtured between the buyer and seller, and trust has to be utmost. इसलिए in our business we need to have professionals. Code of conduct has to be there. While there is no said code of conduct, regulators have described some code of conduct, but like medicine, एक oath ली जाती है. In our kind of business we don't have these kind of stuff, but there is some unsaid code of conduct where we have to deliver professional ethics while dealing with our clients. और हमारे यहाँ पे तो we have been dealing with 3 generation of investors. Because of the trust factor only, grandfather, father, son, all 3 of them are together dealing with us today. Trust होने से आप, और हमारा product आप देखें, if you look at the whole spectrum of products investor buys, गाड़ी खरीदता है, कार खरीदता है, वॉशिंग मशीन खरीदता है, फ्रिज खरीदता है, ज्वेलरी खरीदता है, होम खरीदता है. What is the most longest serving product? I think investment product, especially life insurance, are the most longest serving products. So all and beyond, they are able to service the customer. So advisor also has to make sure that it is not just fit for the customer today, but आज से 50 साल बाद जब customer की need आएगी, like you talked about retirement planning, वो product should meet that requirement. It's a very important role.
Yeah, absolutely. बहुत ही शानदार टर्म बोली, फाइनेंशियल डॉक्टर. ये अगर सबको याद रह जाए ना कि जब फैमिली डॉक्टर है, एक फाइनेंशियल डॉक्टर होना, आई थिंक इट्स अ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व्ड. नाउ द बिग थिंग दैट आई केप्ट सीइंग, Vinay, and it surprises me that though we have been a part of this industry for a long time and hence we think it's obvious, but actually solutions such as insurance is not obvious.
Yeah.
I have met my own relatives who are greatly evolved, working in large enterprises in executive positions, but they're still not seen a need for having a beautiful, at their own level, a health insurance policy covering them and their family. Yeah, this really intrigues me. Sometimes it surprises me, and then I think maybe they don't have access to information, maybe they don't have the right knowledge.
Really?
Yeah, आपने भी देखा हुआ है,
Yes.
Is it something that you see often?
You see today, if you want to buy a TV, you will Google on the web, you will see some 10 stores. Similar any other product, you want to buy jewelry, you want to buy a watch, you know the brands, you think they are reliable, you will go to them. I don't want to name it here, otherwise promotion हो जाएगा free में. But for each category, you have top 5 brands in your mind. आप वहाँ जाएंगे physically or digitally and you will conduct your transaction. But when it comes to our business, unfortunately today also, people think their banks are the best.
Oh, that's a different topic altogether.
वो सारी सर्विस दे देंगे उनको, whereas banks are supposed to do transaction for savings account, lending money, and at best giving you a locker. If you are good enough, have a hefty balance, locker free मिलेगा, otherwise you have to pay a charge. But when it comes to advisory, you need to find a financial doctor, as I said earlier, और वो ऐसे ऑनलाइन आपको मिलता नहीं है, रेटिंग्स नहीं है. Nobody is rating us कि this organization is better. Google रेटिंग नहीं है, आपको लोकेशन की रेटिंग मिलती है, रेस्टोरेंट की रेटिंग मिलती है. अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारी रेटिंग नहीं मिलती. I wish हमारी रेटिंग होती so people can come to us.
Yes.
By word of mouth हम how many people we can reach out to. Today हमारा सारा business आज चलता है because आप मेरे से कुछ खरीदते हैं तो you refer me to somebody. I become referable. You give my reference to somebody or I become referable. But we have to cut copy paste so that if tomorrow you need my services, you know whom to approach to.
Yeah.
So we have to create this barrier. Very important for us.
आपने ये बड़ी controversial topic बता दी, so but I'll just mention it, but I'll not further on it.
Yeah.
ताकि कोई misunderstanding ना. The real essence of bank selling products such as insurance versus advisory based selling on insurance. बहुत ही sensitive topic है, so I'll not dwell into it. But बहुत सही बात बोली आपने, because people who do insurance solutioning and providing these solutions for a living, I think these are really the people who should be really sought after in terms of if the client wants to get the best service, who just do this for a living. And इसी मुद्दे पे it is not just about buying a interesting insurance policy. वहाँ तक ठीक है, आपने compare कर लिया, somebody came, advised you a beautiful product, beautiful solution, you bought it. I am taking it one step ahead. The moment of truth in insurance is actually claims. जब claims पे आ जाता है ना, somebody who does this for a living is the one who's able to deliver exceptional service.
Exactly.
Okay, because buying an insurance policy is the beginning, it's not the end.
No, that's
ये
just a
claims
start. Claims के बारे में but I wanted to touch some other topic, just missed my mind. But talking about claims, insurance is an intangible product. Intangible बोले तो आप आज जो खरीद रहे हैं इसके benefits बाद में आएंगे. You are not getting, while there are some products which start giving immediate income and benefits, but when it comes to especially health insurance, term insurance, motor insurance, these are intangible products. If some incidents happens, उस समय companies will pay the money through claim.